Yeah, hi guys, this is Jim again, and I thought I'd show you what it's like to cross over one of these clay pans around on the Simpson. It was a little bit wet, and this is a time-lapse video which is running at about 4 times the speed I'm actually travelling at. And as you can see, the surface is wet. The trick to drive across these things is to stay in the tracks. You'll see that I'm staying in the tracks that are most well worn, right? And I'm not slowing down, I'm keeping a constant speed all the way across. And as you go across here, you'll notice I'm starting to slide sideways. Now, we start to whip around a bit sideways. The trick is to keep the power on. Here we go, sideways, full power, still on, and pulled back, we drop back into the tracks and we kept going. By doing this, you have the forward momentum, and you keep going. As you can see, I'm starting to spray a bit of mud up in the air on the camera now, and I got all the way across with no trouble at all. The trick is don't back off, just keep the steady power on and keep going. Okay, and that's the section I just crossed over. Now we've got Roger coming across, and I'm sorry about the camera work, but I had to suddenly realise I had to clean the lens off before I could photograph Roger. And he started coming across, and as you can see, the most intelligent way to do these crossings is only have one vehicle at a time on them. One vehicle gets stuck, it's a problem. If you get two vehicles stuck, it's a big problem. If you've got three vehicles stuck, you've got a huge problem, and it is rather stupid in more vehicles starting to come across at the same time. It might take you a bit longer, but you'll get there. Now, as you can see with poor old Roger here, he got out of the track and he went to the side. Now, it's always a bad idea to go over to the side, because when you get over to the side, it's softer. It looks better, but it's always softer. And Murphy says you will get stuck when you get out there. All the traction control devices and all that just don't work, and you get stuck. And as you can see, just about now Roger's trying to get back on the track, as I was telling him on the radio. He couldn't make it back, and that was the end of that. He was stuck. Now commences the towing out vehicle problem. Ah yes, and now comes the fun in the four-wheel driving. This is why you always have your rescue gear easy, accessible. Don't bury it under all this junk, because at this point in time, if you had all your stuff buried and you had to empty the car out to get it, guess where you're going to have to stack everything? On the mud. So always have your rescue gear handy. And there I go, over to Roger to annoy him, laugh at him. It's always good. You can be cocky if you got through and the other guy got stuck, but you want to be careful. I got paid back a bit later on in the trip. Oh dear. But I still didn't break the rules. To be stuck is to ask for outside assistance. Roger's not stuck, he's just detained here, and I'm giving him outside assistance. And we tried the max tracks. I always wanted to try them in the mud to see how they work, and I won't ever do that again. That was a waste of bloody energy. But before you use the max tracks, I suggest you get that any of those sprays that does for cooking to stop the stuff sticking in the pan. Spray your boards both sides with that before you put them in the mud, and you'll find the mud will come off them a lot easier when you're packing them away. And poor old Roger didn't have a strap tied to his boards, so just fortunately they were a bit of a bugger to dig out, and we had to dig them out with a shovel later on. But anyway, it's all good fun, and believe me, as I was walking by the side of the car, I was sinking well up above my ankles into the mud. And at this point there was more vehicles arriving at the back edge, and they were great because they sat there and waited until we cleared the road. There's nothing worse than having a whole stack of vehicles here. And as you can see, wherever you go around this vehicle, you're going to be in the worst mud. You're going to get stuck. So okay. One of the most important things to do when they make you get in the mud is make sure they both get out of the car and get in the mud with you. They can have the inside of their car covered in mud as well. But when you go out there, spray your boots with that anti-stick stuff for the fry pan, and you'll find your boots will clear up a lot better. And as you can see, it was bloody muddy, and it doesn't matter where you walk, it's just soft mud. That's why I say don't go off the track. That's how you get caught. And I always walk back and have a bit of a think about the situation and work out how I'm going to get the vehicle out before I actually commit myself into getting it out. We put the sand tracks down, and that's how far we got. And I decided at that point it was a waste of energy putting them down. And it was also at this point when I realised that we hadn't spray painted them with the Pure Simple, and they're a bugger to pick up. But they do work. An awful lot of wet cross. A chain out the front with the tent pegs in it would have been easier than use the winch. And tell me, is it a universal problem or what? Anytime you have a camera set up, people will walk straight in front of your camera and block the vision. As you can see, the guys are working hard to get it out, and I'm down there helping them with it. And that's when I made the decision to run the winch cable right out, leave 3 turns on the drum, use extension straps, and I towed him out. I was about 90 metres away. I was almost over on the very hard stuff when I started to tow him out. And it only took a small tow to get him out. But if you're on your own, you could lay the chain down where the tyre tracks are, further right up here, run the winch cable out, extension straps, etc., till you get the chain on a bit of hard ground, and multiple pegs through the links in the chain. I've used them probably 50 to 110 pegs, and I have winched myself out of situations like that where there's nothing to hang on to. There's one thing I always do. Whenever hooking any vehicles up, I always get out and inspect the joints myself. People's lives are in your hand when you're towing anything, the rope snaps, whatever. People can get killed, so always check everything yourself. You never realise whether other people know what they're doing or not, and it's your life that's in hand. I've actually got a camera on the back of the vehicle, which is up high. It's up near the roof of the vehicle on the back there, and I can flick a switch inside the car and I can see with that camera, and I can actually watch the rope out the back, see when it's tight, etc, etc. Now all up, we hooked up about 70 metres of extensions here, so that I was up on the hard dry stuff, and out they come straight away. Very easy, very good. But as I say, stay on the tracks, don't drive all over the country, because it is becoming a problem, and I can see the traditional owners getting very upset about these track marks all over the lakes, and I understand, I agree with them. I don't want to take photographs of wheel marks everywhere. I want to take photographs of the beautiful undisturbed country, and with these idiots driving all over the lake, you can't get that. As you can see, it's safety first. All the ropes and everything else are set up. Any passerbys get well clear of everything. And on the radio, we communicate with each other, and away we go. Out in most of these places, when you're travelling about, they have a channel specification on the CV, and the other mob behind were on the right channel, and we were in communication with them, so we didn't end up with another vehicle stacked up on top of us. And this is the way you got to do it. And here's the worst thing about using those mud tracks: you got to go back and get them out of the ground. And boy, they were stuck. Believe me, they were stuck. The old trick is, put the shovel in the ground, straight next to it where you know they are, and at least then you know where to start digging. But put the ropes on them first and spray them, because it makes them a hell of a lot easier to get them out of the ground. When you're using the CBs, don't use tone, squelch or anything else. Just use them on an open channel so you can hear everyone. The UHF CV doesn't travel long distances, and when you can hear the chatter from a group coming, you know whether they're getting closer or not by the string strings getting louder or fading. And you're well aware that there could be another group close to you. So when you're travelling in the direction, this particular bit we were travelling east, so as we got to the sand hills we always said eastbound, and if everyone does the right thing, you hear each other. There were several occasions that I came up the top of a hill and there was some group there who hadn't been using the right channel, or they're using their club channel and using handhelds on channel 10, which is absolutely of no value at all. Really, it's for your own safety. Anyway, we got the bits out. I don't know, no matter where you go, you know, some of these passengers won't get out into the mud and help, will they? They'll stay out of the mud. I don't know. Some blokes are soft, aren't they? We won't mention who that was. If you have a look at Randall's feet as he's pressing in the mud here, it looks like quite firm stuff, but you'll notice his feet are sinking quite well. So that's the reason you stay on the main track. Whatever track's worn across there, sit on it and you'll have a lot less trouble, believe me. Going off to the side, you're only asking for trouble. You know, life's a bitch sometimes. I sat and watched Randall hoping he'd fall over and he never did. What a pity. Could have been quite a good funny YouTube video.